Hello, everyone. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Today we have another Link to the Past Challenge Cup race. This is Kaesden versus Sky in the semifinals. This is game 2. And we have a great lineup tonight. Tracking, we have Leoria. And commentary, we have Myendium and Jesse. And they'll take it from here.
Good evening, ZSR. And yeah, we got game 2 here. Just a couple nights ago, Tuesday night, we did have game 1 on this series. Kaesden winning a standard boots race. Definitely had a bit more of an aggressive round, and it paid off mightily. Tonight, we get to see a bit more of a crazy mode. We have Mick Boss. How's it going, Myendium?
Doing well, Jesse. Always a pleasure to get on the mic with you and call a game. Your teammate on one side and darkened5ky on the other, who I haven't played much, but who has skunked me a couple of times on ladder. So these are both players who play as Dark Link and who have kicked my butt repeatedly and with much gusto. Now, you were in Maine, I was in this tournament. Kaesden put me out of this tournament. And these are a couple of the runners who I very much expected were going to make it to the late stages. And sure enough, here we are, these runners in the late stages. Shocking.
Yeah, we had there's talk about, runners that you expect to see get to this stage of the Challenge Cup. And one of the things that, some people were aware of or not aware of, we saw Kaesden with one of his last rounds against Magno. And we got a runner like Sky here, and it's, these are two runners who last year were in main tourney like yourself. Both, all three of you guys were, main tourney runners who unfortunately didn't get out of groups last year, but, that's still a big accomplishment. And now this year you see it, hey, we're in, the Challenge Cup.
Imagine we keep getting new people into this community all the time. Some of them sit down, they play a ton of rando, they get really good. Some of them sit down, they play a ton of MMG, they get really good. Some of them are just natural gamers, like, say, Bread, and get really good. But yeah, however they do it, we love to see new people come into the community, and the fact that people like Kaesden, myself, darkened5ky, can get pushed out of main and into the Challenge Cup from year to year. Honestly, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah. There's some bombs for Kaesden as well, so he gets a little bit bailed out here.
Yeah,
Sky getting a little lucky. Yeah, Sky getting a little lucky with those bombs. And yeah, as Leo's pointed out, Kaes is about to have a second tier 1. He didn't get those 4 kills for the tier 2 or tier 3 to begin with. So this is going to be another tier 1 coming up for him, unfortunately. He prefers this early, double pull route. I gotta wonder if he's thinking, oh, tier 1 and tier 3 are both full magic. So we'll see how he feels about this one. But it won't be a big deal, Sky's not going to know either.
Yeah, and both of them have the resources they need to go into the village, make the village checks, the 3 pack of bombs. Sky's got an extra handful, which is nice, but you figure once you're done with the village, you're likely to have found another one of those 3 packs somewhere along the line. At this point, money is a little more of a pressing issue. See, there, bombs.
Yeah, of course, more bombs. I mean, it just means that Sky is going to have a bit better of a situation if we find ourselves in mini Moldorm Cave with only 6 bombs. But there's one of our first maps. As we said, this is McBoss Shuffle, so maps and compasses are shuffled. They both have their own value, and the bosses are shuffled. So the maps shuffled, of course, means that we don't know what the dungeon prize is, so you do want the maps for that. And the compasses do serve a purpose, not just to tell us how many items are in a dungeon, but if you have the compass to a dungeon, you know who the boss is there. So they do have some value for us.
It's one of those nice little additions, because compasses always seemed a little undervalued in Key Sanity and general dungeon shuffled modes. Knowing what the boss is, sure, you have to be playing in a boss shuffled mode for that to be meaningful, but it is just a little extra oomph, and honestly, compasses need it.
Yeah, no, the compasses not having much value was always kind of why do I even care? Now it's okay, I want a compass. And like in some ways, it kind of redoes the math of this mode. You know, we talk about race games coming up, and a lot of people might say, "Oh, I'm willing to, you know, scout race game," and because there's such a rarity of an item being there. With Map Compass, both maps and compasses means there's an extra, what, 20 items that you care about?
Yeah, roughly.
We did get, of course, that early glove out of the cack well, so we'll get a nice back of escape probably pretty quickly.
Not seeing a whole lot out of this village just yet, though.
No, I mean, a glove and a lamp, or a glove and a mirror early are pretty good, but very low value at this point.
You can sequence break up to Hera, but you have no idea what the boss is going to be. There are a couple of things that it can't be, but by and large, given the loadout that you have at the moment, you don't really care because you're not going to kill a boss yet anyway.
I mean, if you can find a way to kill any boss with just bombs, let me know. I know there's a few that can, but I don't plan to spend that kind of time. And was that a hammer? It was. That is a hammer on the library ledge.
Alright, we'll be expecting boots probably fairly soon then, unless mitts appear, in which case those boots could be just about anywhere.
Or neither appear, and it turns out it's an agaseed. You know, great options across the board. And Kaesden is going to pick up that piece of heart. I don't hate the idea at this point. When you're this early in this mode, it is such a pain. You know, you run into that boss in a bad spot. Kaesden's previous round, him versus Specs, we actually saw a couple of really bad blind fights early that were just painful to watch for both runners.
Yeah, you can run into early blinds, you can run into something like a low percent-ish cold stare up at the top of Tower of Hera. Pretty much anything in Mothula's arena just gets really, really sideways in there.
I was gonna say the cold stare or Vidi at the top of Hera are both devilishly evil bosses. And there is that small key in the back of escape. Without any fire, I do agree with the decision not to try to run for a key rat or try to even kill a key rat.
Especially with bombs as your only weapon, it's not as though you're really guaranteed, and as soon as you miss the first time, then who knows where it is.
Yeah, there was a discussion going on over in the Go Mode podcast Discord today about the different standard escape weapons as GMP is about to hit weeks 3 and 4 for their tournament for beginners. And, you know, people were talking about bomb escape just being absolutely horrendous. And yeah, it is.
Ah, but it is one of those things where it's nice to do well. You walk out with 3 or 4 bombs for Kakariko Village, and you feel pretty good about life.
Hey, there's one of those compasses. One we're not going to need for a while.
Yeah, and the patented Kaesden play of Damned to Agina clearing out his Sphere 1 locations. This is a play that he likes, having talked to him about it more than a handful of times. It's the kind of thing that a year ago I would have termed a qualifier-safe kind of play, but really it's just a tournament-safe kind of play. Trying to prevent himself from being turned upside down by leaving something in what's a little of an out-of-the-way location, but something that the game can place things in relatively early.
Yeah, we've seen this kind of be his play. I don't think it's really paid out much in his turning races so far. A compass to pod is mixed bag. We did see a save scum, by the way, from Sky of that mushroom turn-in. It was just $5, so we do have that mushroom back on Sky's side.
Just in case you happen to pick up the Cane of Samaria and the hammer some fine day, or the mitts, and then you can mirror and throw your portal away and check the magic bat that way. It's a choice. Some runners really like it, some runners really don't, some runners are kind of ambivalent to it.
And we don't see any change up of routing strategy here from Sky. You always wonder if maybe you're going to get some metagaming after the first game, but it does look like Sky is saying, no, I'm going to play my game here, even down.
Having watched Game 1, that doesn't really surprise me necessarily. It certainly seems like Sky is a runner who is very much in tune with his own style of play. You'll see a lot of things like he'll try to chest turn just about every chest in the game.
Yeah, we were talking about that afterwards. We felt like it was kind of one of those things that you can lose a little bit of time across the board. It's not bad. It looks swag as hell, but, you know, you do invest the time by doing so.
And of course, if you land enough of them and they get you pointed in the right direction, then, well, you saved a frame or two. Easy game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's perfect. That was a red crystal at Tower of Hera, by the way.
And he really does hit more of them than he misses, too.
Yeah.
Which helps.
I mean, you do it enough times, it helps. I mean, I think the swaggiest part of Game 1 was Sky in the loss doing untimed slashes to kill Ganon. Like, that was probably the swaggiest strategies I've seen. Just for fun at that moment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, Kaes and Sky finishing up this Ice Rod Cave route. And okay, I was like, where are we going? I thought we were going to do Front of Escape, but no, Kaesden is going to turn in this mushroom.
Yeah, hot off the save and quit from Ice Rod Cave. Now is a good time. That way you can hang on to it if you really want to. While Sky looks like he is heading over, probably going to have a quick look at the Hylia Island here and then head for Saha Eastern.
Yeah, and I think for Kaesden, like, Uncle and Escape is going to be the play.
That is one of the advantages of the Sanctuary start, is you've got a little more of that density, especially after you've seen Back of Escape, you kind of know what you're looking at for the rest of it. No,
I thought we might get a scum. He's going to keep the 5.
Yeah, he thought about it for a second. He closed and reopened that save quit menu. But no, gotta hang on to it.
And we got a green pendant pod.
Yeah, green pendant pod. Leoria special here.
We wonder if Kaesden will talk to people tonight. Yeah, one of his last races against Specs, I think we saw no communication. It was actually in McBoss. Kaesden did not talk to Bomb Vendor or Saha.
That's a way you can play the mode. I don't know that that's the way that I would play the mode. It's not exactly all dungeons, after all. Yeah, Sky with that flute gonna come activated over here. We've got some logical mountain access there now. It is looking more and more like the game does want the runners to visit Tower of Hera here at some point.
So Sky's setting up that sword spin here. Usually that is used to actually short out the lag between flute activation and usability. The alternate strategy to do that for Rando is actually to just quick swap off flute and then back to flute.
Yep, quick swap's a good one. If you have the boots, you can item dash with it as well.
Yeah. So there's a few ways to go past or not deal with the lag. And I call it lag, but like the delay of usage is really what we're getting away from. Nice 300 there in the map chest of Escape.
Zora is in logic with the glove, a little under 100 rupees away from access there now.
This is the Final Fantasy Mix MSU. It is Final Fantasy songs from 1 through 10 with some Easter eggs.
Old man just handing out some sticks for saving him from the dark. That hardly seems worth, but I guess the save and quit point is not the most terrible thing to have.
There's our second sword out of the boom chest for Kaesden.
Not going to turn down more firepower in McBoss.
Not at all.
You never know exactly what you're going to run into, and Master Sword does a whole lot better to a whole lot more things than Fighter Sword does.
Now, what I will say is, my MDM, how worried about the Hera boss are you right now, knowing what we know about Hera bosses?
Given that we have no fire yet, probably kind of 50-50, really.
I will say, well, we've got the Bombos medallion, so Cold Stare's not a big deal. But I will say my bigger concern right now is actually a Helmasaur.
Yeah, Helma up there would be exceedingly rough. Darkened Sky on exactly 2 bombs and on exactly 0 hit points.
Yes, that Dead Rock just said, hello, I like you. Please, come here.
Will you be my friend?
Yeah.
Forever.
We also did get a bottle for Kaesden. Realistically, nice little advantage for him coming up. He'll probably head to Saha after this, and when he does get that flute activation with Sick Kid check is just a little bit of a nice pair for him. So this Hassle Uncle delay really was the better play in this seed so far. Front of Escape the Dark Cross, just 3 bombs though, so. Yeah, and here comes Saha for Kaze. I can't imagine he goes into
Eastern seems pretty unlikely once the game says here have however many logical checks up on the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the flute is available, and you have the glove, even getting back to Eastern's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's a little better if you can find the boots somewhere, but even still, just quick flute to 5 kind of gets the job done. There is that big key in the lobby chest of Tower of Hera, so.
Gotta say, that's not shocking that it was available.
Yeah,
we were down to what? That chest or Zora?
That chest, Zora, or Eastern Palace.
Oh, or sorry, Sick Kid as well.
But again, the seed giving you the flute, giving you the mirror, it really does seem like the intention was there. Something is tucked away in the Tower of Hera that the runners are expected to go get.
Yeah, and unfortunately, unless these mini mold orms or something drops, there's the boots. So we do have hammer now. So we do have East Death Mountain now as well. But yeah, unless there's bombs in this big chest here, and this is a Helma, Sky is not in great shape to fight the Helmasaur King right now. And we will have an item in the Hera basement as well.
One of those dangerous small keys hanging out there. It's kind of like lacking hammer and picking up the small key for Thieves Town. And you say, well, am I doing this now, or am I waiting and doing it later?
And here we go, Vitreous at the top of Hera. Okay, so Sky is going to utilize the bomb that he has available. Case is going to have a little bit easier of a fight just by merit of having the Master Sword. Still not an easy fight, but it's going to be better.
Sky seems to have a pretty decent rhythm on this, though, getting these double spins on most of the eyeballs.
Yeah, I mean, speak a little too soon, and oh, man. And, I can't imagine Sky comes back for this fight right now. It's just not. I appreciate the Desert Ledge check there from Kaze. I see what you're doing. But yeah, the problem is that Vitreous fight is just so many spins.
And now that you know it's there, maybe you find some money, and we do in fact know there is a little money somewhere. You pick up a bomb upgrade or 2, you can soften those eyeballs up a little more. And in going and finding that other money, well, here's some other money, so maybe not, but probably, we'll see Darkened Sky hit the front of Escape beforehand, get that second sword. The refight will be substantially easier.
Well, and here's the question with that, though. Do you honestly rush to front of Hyrule Castle here? Like, if I'm Sky, I'm going right back up the mountain.
Oh, yeah, you are getting the East Mountain checks after you pick this hammer up, aren't you?
Yeah. Like, I feel like logically you have to go back to the mountain.
Yeah, make the play that's exactly what the seed wanted. You pull your boots out of Hera so that you can come down, get your hammer, then go back up and do hammer things on East Mountain. But,
yep.
Maybe not quite yet.
So yeah, I mean, these two...
This is the time to go ahead and pinch off the Spear 1 location. Makes a lot of
sense.
sense.
Definitely.
With the boots, with the flute, easy to get at.
Yeah. I will say the 2 deaths for Sky are kind of the big deal right now. You know, getting just completely dead rocked and then to run into that Vidi, like, 2 not great ways to start a seed. Not huge, but definite annoyances and worries, and I was completely wrong. Sky heading into Hyrule Castle here.
Well, you certainly talked me around to your point of view, but this is going to work out for him.
Yeah. And Kaesden did pick up the bug net. Credit where it's due. He is giving the chat what they're probably hoping for, is to see the fluff of a bug net.
Kaesden leaving behind his NMG bomb. He may want that here in a minute.
Kaesden, at least, I gotta think he's gonna feel pretty comfy with Master Sword spins, at least. At least a little bit more than Sky would have.
Undoubtedly better than Fighter Sword.
I'm surprised Kaesden wasn't doing the bomb jump there. Kaesden, have we forgotten that it's McBoss?
There are, in fact, 4 items in Tower of Hera when you shuffle the maps and compasses into the general pool.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here.
It's not really going to bite him right now, since we know it's the small key and he doesn't have fire to go down into the basement and fish the last item out anyway, but the larger concern is just, well, does he remember it all?
Yeah.
Sky is going to go pick up those bombs from Dark Cross, does have the second sword now, and all of that additional cash money.
We are starting to see some eyes die on Kaesden's side. Has to be careful. He is in Oko territory.
Definitely seeing larger movements from him now as he makes sure to stay out of the way.
And honestly, we're to the point that I'm surprised Kaesden has not started to return down into the pit.
Yeah, because now you have the problem. That eyeball's going to be right on top of you. I was wondering if he was going to try and set up doubles there, but instead, there's the double.
There's the nice double for the end.
And Sky once again back up on the mountain, not going for the immediate refight. This makes a lot of sense. Just go over here, pick out your density. Maybe, who knows, you get a bow, you get another sword. The fight gets a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we are on, like, running on fumes for the potential Aga Seed. Realistically, I'm expecting the Pearl here. If not, I mean, what? We're going to Eastern. Kaesden's about to get the hammer right on library ledge. Yeah, Boots in Hera to go get the to go up back onto the mountain.
Well, probably back onto the mountain. We still can't completely discount Eastern as much as we might want to.
Kaesden?
I
Oh,
think
Block
he's
Rocks.
getting Bonk Rocks while he's up here.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
20 compass, 20 more.
We got a Thievestown compass, by the way, over in Paradox, and I have not seen a pearl, so it looks like we're gonna have to go to Eastern, or it's gonna be in Eastern. And we've only just got the money for Zora, so like I think you rush Eastern.
Rush Eastern, maybe even get into the rupee room there. It'll probably be in the dark, but you may just have to live with that.
Question in chat about the pyramid. Technically yes, but we are still a lamp short of pyramid for logic. So it would not be a fun time, and it looks like Sky's gonna go for the water walk setup here.
I don't dislike this. If you're going into the Zora area anyway, it makes sense to try and pull maximum potential advantage from it, and without a Moon Pearl, this is your way to pick up the items that are in Waterfall Cave.
DT map and a heart container, though, so nothing gained out of that back.
Yeah, the
nice safe
value's
play.
Not really there.
Bombs on the Zora ledge, so don't need to come back for those. But what is on Zora? Is this our pearl, or are we having to head into Eastern without a bow? It is not Zora. That is a huge scam.
That is a gigantic scam, and now the unfortunate part is you're sitting there looking at those rupees counting down, and, well, it sure looks like the Moon Pearl is going to be coming out sooner rather than later here, and yeah, that's not pod money. That is not even close to pod money.
I mean, I'm not even... we do have 20 rupees to our name, so at least we got Arrow Game money.
Yeah, you can go play the archery game. That's an advantage of having Dark World access.
Yeah, no, we're great. I mean, you and I are great aficionados of the of that. So,
Yeah, played a little archery game in my time.
Did Kaesden remember that it's not that it's more than 2 items? I think Kaesden remembered.
It seems to look that way because I don't think he picked up anything else that could possibly generate a run back to the west.
Yep. Kaesden realized his derp, and he's worried that it's a vanilla pearl.
Yeah, this is one of those times where now you feel behind, and you never expect that your opponent is having difficulties of his own, and in this case, darkened5ky has gone into this dungeon but has yet to complete it while Kaesden has pulled the crystal down already. Interesting location for fire video game. So now, because our runners didn't clear out their Sphere 1 locations in a timely manner, the Hera basement can absolutely be the Moon Pearl as Kaesden picks up the small key. Now.
I mean, Aga was beatable with or without the fire rod. It just wasn't in logic either way. And here's the thing, at this rate, like, what we're seeing is either way, like, Sky's gonna go back to Hera as well.
That seems to be the story of the seed. Everybody's just going back to Hera.
Yep. And what I'll say is, like, yeah, if this was an all dungeon seed and like I had fire rod and no lamp, Aga wouldn't be like something I wouldn't do. But given the fact that Aga is not in logic without a lamp in a mode where I don't want to beat Aga, like, I'm not doing it until I have lamp. Doesn't matter. Like, plain and simple. Like, I don't know about you, Mindium. Have you ever decided it was a good play to go to Aga without a lamp?
To go to illogical Aga?
Yeah.
Not outside of multi-worlds when I had literally nothing else to do. And this is solo play, so that doesn't really obtain.
That or it's cross keys and I need something. And that's the thing. We'll see what Kaesden does here. It looks like a lot. I think we know that it has to be Hera basement. And now Sky picks up the bug net.
You have a couple of bottles. You've already suffered a boss death. I don't dislike this.
No.
It seems unlike... I have no idea how to get into that fairy room in a developer-intended manner, but there has to be a way to do it.
There is. It's a drop. There's a drop down at the top of Hera.
Yeah, it seems unlikely that Sky will go that route, but you have an empty bottle, and we just saw him pick up the bug net, so...
So if you're at the floor right before the boss of Hera, where you set up the drop down for the Moon Pearl, you can actually set up the drop down in... at that top floor all the way to the first floor where you do the Hera pot tradition.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's how you do that. And Kaze is going just for Zora here.
Oh look, a French vanilla moon pearl. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. And Sky's actually saying, no, I am not going to fight Vidi again. And Kay's remembering, I do not have Pearl, I cannot do the waterfall.
Not really going to hurt him, he's going to be missing out on a full heart container. Yeah.
Well, MDM, maybe you can help me out here. Why is there such a rupee discrepancy right now? Oh, was that the Vidi?
Because Sky bought the Zora item, and Kaesden is about to.
No, sorry. The fact that there's about an 80 rupee discrepancy after Zora is what I meant. Was that just Vidi money? And I'm forgetting that there was a lot of money on Vidi, like a 50?
I don't know, was there a 50 on Vidi?
They cleared everything else the same. Yeah, and our tracker Leoria is saying, yeah, it was a 50 on Vidi, so...
Chest turns all the way down in Johnny Two Bombs. Very nice.
Yeah, that's definitely been Sky's kind of, like, thing. So, not gonna turn away from it. Or maybe is turning into it? I don't know. See what I did there?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta steer into it, that's fine. Sky did pull Ether there off of Stumpy, and now we'll get K45. Kaesden has a little wait before the Moon Pearl, but the Moon Pearl is coming shortly.
No. we did not have fire first trip. This is a weird, it wasn't even a required double dip of Hera, but it's just both of our runners have done multiple dips. Each of them's going to have to do a triple dip Hera for different reasons. Kaesden had a forgetful McBoss moment, so he went back for the small key for his second trip, and now third trip for the Pearl. And Sky had that Vidi death and then went back for the Pearl, is going to have to go back a third time for Vitreous. And yeah, that money situation we were talking about, it just came up. Sky just didn't have money.
It is nice that the archery game is right next door and only costs 1/4 the cost of playing the dig game, so you can come in here and make the money you need really quick.
Yep. So roughly, I'd say we're about even. Sky's a little bit ahead into Dark World. Kaesden not far behind, a little bit better on the money situation, and also has that first crystal. Oh, and apparently I missed it, but Skull Woods is our other 5/6?
That appears to be true from the tracking.
Wow, very early potential play for the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, a couple of relatively easy to acquire 5/6 crystals.
Pending, of course, that there is not an Argus in the back of Skull Woods. Or worse.
Oh, there could be a Vidi there for all we know. We've only seen one.
Yes. Honestly, a Cold Stare wouldn't be terrible, just terribly annoying.
I feel like Cold Stare is one of the more convenient bosses to find there. You can just bounce the puffs off of the spikes and cause them to take gold sword damage all day.
Yeah. Really not a bad situation. No. Spike Cave is never in logic, just based on hearts. Spike Cave always requires invincibility and or bottle and or half magic. So it's like Cane or Cape and half magic or Cape and bottle are the three situations for that being logical. Of course, after the hammer, glove, and pearl. You'll see a lot of runners try to do it out of logic. Like, in this case, our runners could do it out of logic with those two bottles, and I respect it. But not a very common play.
And that can get fairly expensive, especially if you don't have a hook shot to try and save yourself a heart here and there.
Yeah. Hey, there's that bow.
Yeah, so you absolutely had to dip Bolus Eastern to get fire, to go up to Hera, which you could then theoretically one-shot to get your Pearl, to get your bow from the Dark World, so that you can go back and do Eastern later. Assuming, of course, that Eastern is not just a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some info growing here. Sky's been a little bit more into the checking mood. And we see that we got a Crystal Swamp, that red Crystal Skull, Crystal Ice, and Crystal TR. So we're starting to build up that knowledge. Did we get a map check here in Thieves, by the way?
If we did, I missed it.
Okay, so we all missed it. And here it is. It's Helmasaur.
Alright, well, we have a hammer now. That's not a problem, boss.
Okay, now here's the other question. How likely are you to go to the back? And not just the boss.
That's a dangerous question. We've got flippers and a second glove outstanding for sure, and Cane of Samaria, maybe an ice rod depending on the boss layout.
And we're talking
Hookshot,
2 items in the
probably.
back out of 3 checks. Because we do know there's going to be a small key somewhere in the back as well.
Sky already has the small key. It's the others.
No, that's the hallway key.
Oh, that's his pot key. You're right.
Nice hammer fight, though.
Yeah, go to the back for 2 items. I mean, I guess the easy answer is see what you get off the boss here, like an ice rod, and maybe you feel a little better about leaving at that point.
I mean, the fact that that ruins a lot of the other bosses, like besides Argus, we're now in good shape. And I don't believe the small key can be on the boss in Thieves Town and Boss Shuffle. But I could be completely speaking out my rear.
I'm fairly certain that it can't, but I am not 100% on that.
I will say I am not a dev, and I have not read the code hard enough to know. But I don't think I've ever seen it happen.
Where's our code and savior? Hi, I'm Cody1 when we need him. Because even if he doesn't know, he would know where to look.
Kaesden, I'm shocked you're not doing NMG strats here, buddy. Hey, those mitts you were talking about.
Yeah, no, clearly those are not in the back of Thieves, and darkened5ky not going to be lacking for them.
And I can't imagine, like, this is going to be Kaesden's next play as well. Like, for both the runners, this is the move.
Yeah, you really can't say no to this. You know it's well, at least in darkened5ky's case, knows that it's a 5/6 crystal. You've got the fire rod already. So the access is there. Why not just go for it?
Did we get a map check, though? I feel like we keep on missing them if they happen. And I can't imagine, like, Sky wouldn't go for this unless he knew he had it. And, like, I don't want to...
This is simply a missing compass. Nope, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, if you got this far in and then to find out it's Argus, you'd feel pretty bad.
Yeah, Moldorm here is a minor inconvenience at best, as long as you've got...
If you've ever had any sympathy for a boss, especially one who's a jerk in every other situation, this might be the time to feel bad for him.
Because Moldorm and the conveyor just do not get along.
None.
It's a crying shame, that.
I was about to say, you don't have the big key, buddy.
No, he doesn't, because we've seen it. It's all
Yeah.
Moldorm in Bothiel's room. darkened5ky has it.
Wait, they're not playing, like, multi, where they send each other items?
No, I don't think it's even co-op NMG.
Oh, man.
I wonder if they'll ever do that for NMG League. That would be weird.
As soon as it always works, I'd love it. But having done enough co-op NMG to know that keys sometimes don't get sent, especially when runners are in the same dungeon, it scares me. Nice little high five there. Now, in our game 1 on Tuesday night, this After Skull Woods kind of became a dividing point of the race. We saw Sky start to make some extra checks along North Dark World, or North Light World as it were in some regards, while Kaesden started to play a lot more aggressive right after this dungeon. So I'll be really curious to see how they each cope and if there is a change from their style.
And having received the mitts in this dungeon, it's certainly the kind of time where you could start trying to make a more aggressive play.
Yeah. I will say I think Desert should probably be our next play.
Seems like a good place to be. You've got the boots, you've got the mitts, you've got fire. Yeah, as long as you're not looking at an Argus in it, it's clearable to you.
Yeah.
It does seem that Sky wants to have a look at the Northern Dark World loop first, however.
Umper Ledge is dead again. Yeah, I mean, this is Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. I guess the question is, do we see the Kern jump after this?
I feel like I've been seeing some Kern jumps lately. It wouldn't entirely surprise me. The area itself is logical after all. It's just kind of breaking around the flippers instead of the loop going down and doing other shenanigans to get up there.
Yeah, and as Leo's pointing out, Kaes has not marked off that he's got 5-6 crystals. All he knows is he's got 3 crystals.
Yeah, 3 crystals is better than 2, so
yeah.
Still advantage, but doesn't necessarily know that he can turn them into anything more.
And here comes Kaesden making that play.
And you saying
and
that
an
reminds
Eastern.
me, maybe that's why Darkened Sky is issuing the Kern jump here, maybe intending to play Catfish with a Pyramid Fairy check later.
Well, I have to assume Kaesden is going to know that he's got the 5-6s soon. Bombos from Meyer. We do have it, but we don't have a cane. And we don't have a lamp. Nice extra sword and a nice heart container. Yeah, I was going to say, it is kind of confusing when you see 2 runners with the same sprite in a race. The Thieves Town map. Thanks, game.
Very helpful.
Kaesden, you want those 10 bombs. You only have 1.
Kaesden says no.
Question from Link to the Past Ken. Do you do Ice Out of Logic here? I'll say, like, I usually wouldn't in this scenario because I don't have Cane of Samaria. If I got Samaria here, like, I think I rush Ice, even without flippers, with the chance of maybe getting a hook shot or other item.
Yeah, without both the cane and the hook shot, I'm significantly more hesitant to go into Ice when I'm also doing it out of logic with no flippers. There's just too much missing.
Yeah, it's a question of what you feel you can get away with. Like, maybe we could see one of them go do Ice saying, it's a crystal that I likely can beat. But without either of those items, it's just a long dungeon to clear without flippers as well. Like, it's out of logic in every sense. The one thing I will also say is both of our runners tonight are hovered. Nice silvers.
Going to make Darkened Sky's eventual refight with Vitreous very, very free.
Yeah, the only problem is, like, is Sky gonna get lucky enough to have hookshot for the reclimb? Or are we gonna see a full reclimb required, or not even required, but just played for? Because at this point, like, how likely is it we're gonna have a Pyramid Fairy, and, like, do you do Pyramid Fairy before? Or do Hera before even thinking, like, Pod Pyramid Ledge?
Yeah, it's tough to say, and you have to wonder because he's the one with the knowledge. How much is that kind of sitting there in the back of his mind, and he's thinking, well, I kind of wish I had that now. But maybe something just comes out of the Landmola's room here, and then all of that kind of goes out the window. Maybe this is the flippers. Oh,
we've got our first double. Good to see you again, Helmasaur. We will never see you again then, Seed. Unfortunately, that does mean, you know, of course, well, we already were gypped with no Helmacopter, so...
A supremely useless map and an equally useless pendant. Alright.
Is it useless when we know at least now our map info?
I guess if you have full map info off of that, it's a little less terrible. You still spent all of the time to come get it, though.
Okay, my IDM, here's the biggie.
Hit me.
Are we looking at a ped seed here tonight?
Ooh, alright, so we've got logical access to everything as long as there's not an Argus in one of those boss rooms. The possibility exists.
And this might be that ice play. Only one bomb though, Kaesden, please. And he can't even... He can't get into pod.
No,
here's the problem. Kaes has less... Yeah. Kaes is at less than 100 rupees.
Yeah, I guess you just kind of hope that you get a little cash
Kaesden,
money coming
check
out
your
of this
map.
because it's a crystal you have to clear anyway.
I'll say this, like, Kaesden, check your map before you go deeper into this dungeon. We can't do... Yeah, I agree with Leo on this one. For Sky, I'm kind of the opinion, like, you should be doing Hera and then Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid Ledge. I definitely have an issue with that play, so...
Ah, shocking. We've come into Ice Palace illogically, and we're being blocked by items that we're supposed to have.
Yeah. And once again, Kaesden, please check your map. Like, you have that compass. I'd want to know how far this play should go.
Yep, Sky pulling a full heart container from Catfish. Again, kind of a nice-to-have sort of thing, but it feels like this was something of an inefficiency and a play that did not pay out.
And Sky's going to join Kaes in Ice. I'm loving the aggressiveness from both of our runners, and I'm scared. Like, wow.
Yeah, both of them certainly
it's
have...
Cold Stare!
Hey,
Vanilla!
Vanilla! Hi, Vanilla Cold Stare. That's not terrible. But Kaesden without the pod money is a little stuck for options. And again, pod, pendant dungeon, this crystal dungeon, you're figuring as long as it's not an Argus, even if you're not willing to check your map like a sane individual.
I mean, I got mad respect to both of them, and there's our butter sword.
I'll admit I am a complete goldfish brain when it comes to routing Ice Palace. I have no idea why Kaesden is doing this, but here he is. And now a bomb jump that is much freer than a lot of people try and make it.
Yeah. That's the thing, you know, a lot of people talk about the logical implications of, you know, not having a hook shot for this dungeon. But, like, the dungeon was always clearable without it. And full clearable at that if you know that bomb jump. It's just one of those pieces of tech that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. And hey, Kaesden's got money.
Yep, and we saw Sky make a couple attempts at hovering around the Ice Palace bomb jump. It didn't work out for him, so Ice Palace bomb jump it is.
Both keys on the right side, though.
Super hookshot locked. Surprise, surprise.
So yeah, realistically, we are at least 2 from go right now. Sorry, 3 from go. We are missing a Samaria, Flippers, and Hookshot. Speaking of...
Well, there was not going to be avoiding Ice Palace in hopes of icebreakering, that's for sure.
Does that mean we've got a... We could have a hookshot on our buddy Coldsteer here? Well, we could have hookshot and big chest. And yes, possibly Quake. Yeah, I know the items are hook locked on right side and the keys were hook locked, but I think that still means you might have been able to get to Cold Stare with that Samaria, but I am always so confused on the details of this dungeon.
And no one is quite sure, because it's Ice Palace. It doesn't make sense, and it doesn't need to. We just crack it wide open with tech.
Yep, you just beat the dungeon. That's all you care about.
If you can figure out all of the logical implications and gain some advantage from it, great. If you can't, well, just beat the dang dungeon. It's a crystal, you need it anyway.
Okay, so here's the big question, Mindium. What we know is that while Samaria is technically not hookshot locked because Ice Tea Room is not locked by hook, what we can say is that Samaria is flippers locked, and 2 of our remaining crystals do require Samaria to finish. Do you rush the Meyer TR play here? Or, like, are you concerned that flippers might just be pod now? Like, how much does that factor in?
I certainly don't mind doing Meyer first, because most of those checks are not Samaria locked, and once you're there, just go ahead and clear the dungeon anyway, forehead. It's right there. There's no reason to leave. But, yeah, I don't think I'm rushing Turtle Rock in hopes of finding a hook and then going and finding flippers somewhere.
Yeah.
That seems a bridge too far to me.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
But then I'm already out of this tournament, so what do I know, right?
And that's another Cold Stare? We're just knocking out the doubles.
Doubles? What doubles?
Now, Sky's going to play this fight a little bit safer. Already has the cape out. Unfortunately, down to 3 hearts. So I got to imagine we're going to see... You going to turn on the cape, please? Okay, never mind. It was there.
It was there, just in case.
Yep. The only problem was, I think we were in Oko territory.
Yes, we were in Oko territory. From the puffs, anyway. You could have taken an icicle with face.
Yeah.
That's only 2.
So, like, just turn on the cape, please. I'm clenching, and I'm not the one running tonight.
Kaesden pulling small key here in the beginning of Mire. Let's see what Sky's play is. I'm kind of expecting Mire, honestly. Nope. Never mind. Maybe with the leftover Harrow with the red crystal attached, with the ability to then do some Dark Mountain and maybe find a hook shot.
Yeah.
Maybe the Call of the Mountain was just too strong here.
The question is, how hard do you play TR? Like, that's the part that kills me from Sky's perspective.
Now that you've chosen to come up here, I think you go in, and if you've got the compass, you check the map, and if you can beat it, you just beat it while you're here.
But how, like, knowing that it's out of logic because of flippers, and we're not even going to Hera. This is purely DDM right now.
Alright, I like that a little less personally, but...
Yeah.
I can understand you kind of want to go... Okay, my mind just blanked out because he walked into that and it very clearly wasn't Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, I think that was just a goof.
Did he dead rock himself?
No, the dead rocks were well positioned, I thought.
Ooh, Mire's big key is vanilla.
Well, we are just 2 from go mode. Hook and flippers.
Yeah, Quake not required. But we know that the hook is not going to be behind Cane of Samaria in this Turtle Rock, so...
We don't know that, actually.
Oh, you're right. That wasn't in the hookshot lock side. Never
Yeah,
mind.
that was an iced key, so
Yeah.
Hook is potentially in TR. Flippers can't be here, though, for sure. Super Bunny Cave giving us nothing but some bombs and some money.
Given that Darkened Sky was out of bombs, maybe that's not the worst thing in the world for him.
And hey, there's the lamp.
The lamp and terrible chest. Alright, sure.
Well, we know that we will not be getting the flippers here off of Cold Stare. And it looks like we're going to see some hovering coming up. And this is really just for flips.
Yeah, the possibility exists if the hookshot is just, say, hanging out in Palace of Darkness.
Nice second attempt on the hover. First we get the desert map. Completely worthless right now. This one a little bit harder to line up, but well done. For a compass to Hera. Also equally worthless. And nice final hover to get bombed.
It was reasonably clean, not a lot of time lost there, but yeah, the question becomes, is Kaesden ever going to have to check it at all?
Kaesden, remember your magic situation. You're probably going to want to bombos the shell. I don't think you have enough.
It looks like maybe he didn't even recall at first that he was...
Ooh, that was close.
He was going to be fighting a cold stare. He was pretty clearly going over to those silver arrows. Well, now the adventure begins. Thankfully, the butter sword means that cold stare is not all that tough. But Kaesden is now Oko from everything except sticking in the slime.
And we get a Cane of Burna. Sky taking a little bit of a detour on the torch puzzle of TR, forgetting that we have no hookshot.
It's so easy to forget that you have no
Yeah.
hookshot. All of your muscle memory in that room is, well, I have a hookshot, so I'm just going to go up and I'm going to go foof, 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 and we're going to be done. And then I'll use the hookshot and easy game.
So where are you off to, Kaesden? I'm thinking Pyramid Fairy to Pod here is your best play, and I'm not a big Pendant Pod person, but... And we're just going to get Pendant Pod. Does Kaesden even know that he has the 5/6s? No.
I don't think he has...
He has no... Yeah, he has no godly clue right now.
One of the advantages of the commentary feed is that we can see his personal tracker, and his personal tracker has no 5/6 crystals marked.
Yeah. So all of you people and all of us people know that he has the 5/6s out of Skull and Hera. He has just no idea.
And the idea behind the whole I'm never asking NPCs and going to save some seconds is you figure sooner or later you're going to open your menu and look at your crystals and see that one or two of them are red.
Yeah.
And one of the disadvantages of QuickSwap, as many advantages as it does have, is it definitely limits the number of times you're going to get into the menu. So Kaesden's going to have to go with Pendant Pod here. Again, this is another one of those situations where he doesn't know it's the green pendant, I'm fairly certain. He'll know when he catches it if he goes that far. I guess the question becomes, what gets him to leave? If you pull flippers, is that enough to say, well, I'm gonna go do Hookless Swamp now? Because Hookless Swamp is kind of terrible. Okay, the big key just hanging out in the arena there. Kaesden seems to be stopping, considering this play, and probably trying to remember what he pulled in Shooter Room, because I sure don't remember. It was Shovel and Shooter, so this is guaranteed to be a small key. Excellent. And this will be a small key as well, and then he can go to the back in the safe knowledge that he has all the small keys. At least all the small keys in the front. There are a few more. Sky, meanwhile, is about halfway through this Turtle Rock play, and, small shield? Not what he was looking for.
I'm guessing nothing has changed in the moment I was away.
Nothing has changed in the moment you were away, aside from Kaesden forgot how to count items in the front of the bog.
Hey, there's those logical flippers we needed.
But yeah, there are those logical flippers we needed. I guess you just continue at this point. You're already in the back. The density's back here. See if you can find a hookshot.
Yeah, we're not chasing anything here at this point. Like, the best play he has after this is just going to be logical TR. But I'm sure he feels pretty good getting a Quake medallion.
Yeah, now he knows he can get in no matter what. It's not as though he actually needs it, but he doesn't know that yet.
And not on Laser Bridge either. Was it an Argus in TR?
I'm I'm assuming that it must be, because otherwise there's not a reason to leave.
Gundam Girl in chat is saying it was, so I will trust chat on this one, because I missed it, Leo missed it, my India missed it.
Now, darkened5ky is going to go to work on Meyer. We've seen it from Kaesden. Yeah, it's a crystal. It's a thing that you have to do eventually.
So we're in a hookshot hunt.
We are in a hookshot hunt. And I still have my suspicions about the Pyramid Fairy, and neither runner, for reasons of their own, are able or willing to check it.
Yeah, I'm really curious on Sky's not going back for Hera yet. So in terms of the lead, so part of this is that, yeah, it's not so behind. It's Sky took a death in Hera early, so that's why he doesn't have the Hera boss. And then after Ice Palace, which they both did out of logic to get Samaria, Kaesden aggressively played for Meyer, whereas Sky even more aggressively played for TR. So,
and
like,
neither of them really worked out. It's just that Kaesden got a crystal out of it, and unfortunately, Sky ran into a boss that he couldn't kill at the end of his play.
If Kaesden dips TR without hook, it really does help things for Sky's case to still come back. But if Kaesden finds hookshot before dipping TR, like, I don't want to call the race over, but I will say it's just a huge disadvantage for Sky. Kaesden, why do this in the Dark World? Why not just mirror? $300 on the green pendant, and it looks like we're fluting away.
Easy money. Yeah, alright, if we're fluting away, and I really didn't see a reason not to, running out of pod is slow anyway. But here's the mountain play from Kaesden, so going to give a lot of that time back to Sky.
Yep. And to Kaesden, this looks to be logic. You know, I got Samaria out of ice. I got flippers out of pod. This is the logical play. This is the right play in his book. I think my worry, if I'm for Kaesden now, is, you know, Sky goes to pod eventually, and this is last location territory for Sky. Could mean a return to Eastern a lot sooner.
Yeah, there are a lot of really kind of, I won't call them terrible, not all of them are terrible one-offs, but there are a lot of one-offs, and some of them are pretty bad.
I mean, I feel like the worst one is just going to beat Vitreous.
For Sky, definitely.
Like, that one kills me. And I get it, like, you're hoping for a hookshot to do Harapot. We have not seen Hobo. And yeah, hookshot on Ped is still possible. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those things we talk about with, you know, the question of hookshot and Hera. Like, in some ways, Harapot has really helped change the meta for the dungeon and made it a lot quicker. But it also means that that speed becomes something you yearn. Yeah, in so many ways, it's just like, I do not want to do Hera now unless I have a hook shot. Because I don't want to climb the Tower of Vanilla anymore.
It's not unlike the Red Cane and Icebreaker in Ice Palace. But
Exactly.
sometimes your item is just either there or behind there, and you don't get the choice.
I love that cane dash always. And I love how the cane changes colors as soon as you quick swap. Doesn't even matter if you change to red cane. If you just change off of blue cane, it turns red.
Yep, just weird programming things. I am certain there is a reason, and I do not know what it is, and I could not explain it to you.
Yeah, at this rate, we're pretty even. Sky will be heading to pod next, I imagine. And at that point, they're roughly even. The difference is still going to be Hera. I will say pretty interesting. Kaesden's Ice Cold was pretty comfy, and Meyer was scary. Sky having the opposite. I still don't think Kaze has checked his map. As far as I can tell, he does not have a clue that he has 5-6 crystal. Maybe he has menued at some point, but he just hasn't really shown any indication that he knows. Oh, with map and TR. I don't know, actually, either. I don't think he has. Here we go. Now he knows it's Argus.
And now as a runner, you're just kind of hoping that the hookshot is on the way in the rest of the dungeon, because you're committed.
And we're going to get to see Smith Chain here from Sky. I don't know how to feel about this.
I feel worse about it now that he's lifted both rocks and left before even doing hammer pegs.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Like, the longer this goes, the more, like, I feel terrible about this Hera. And I question, like, this is... I'll say it's being kept interesting by the fact that Kaesden won't check his menu for the 5-6s, but, like, I don't know how to feel about this.
It really does feel like both runners have just made their choices, and now they're living with them.
And for all I know, like, Sky's gonna find a hookshot. Instead, we get the mirror shield. Thank you. Check, please.
At least it's just the thematically appropriate thing for a Smith to be working on.
Yeah. And now we're gonna go for the fake powder. And honestly, this could be huge. Doesn't seem like it, but Kaesden does not have a mushroom. But it doesn't matter. So forget I said anything.
Yeah, the powder's probably just tucked away in GT. Again. That seems to be a common rando thing lately.
Kaesden done with TR, still up flippers.
if you're up flippers, what's your choice gonna be? This is clearly not Eastern. You wouldn't have gone to the Dark World because you've already
And it's
finished
purple
Bog.
chest.
Oh
Purple
my.
chest is hook shot. Honestly, I would have I don't know if this is great for Sky.
It's going to keep him off the flippers for a little while, but
This is the scary part, is that Sky is heading right back for TR and Hera.
2 crystal dungeons that he knows he needs to pick up eventually, and you just got the hook shot to make Tower of Hera as fast as it's going to get for you.
Well, and the problem I see here is that this means that it's an extra mountain climb.
Yeah, I think what it is really is you're just hoping that the other thing you're looking for is on the way, because you've had access to that purple chest for quite a while now.
Hey, we're getting a bread pot.
Yep.
If you have trouble with pixel lineups and you want to learn how to Hera pot really easy, the method you just saw from darkened5ky there is the like the one without any pixel lineups. It is super easy, found recently in the last month or so by a one Bread Coon.
We've got a little of a bugged Vidi here, but darkened5ky, once he realizes he has a bugged Vidi, is just going to be able to slash Vitreous down. Just weird Vitreous things in Bossmizer. Nothing to see here.
Okay, so if you're Kaesden, Pyramid Fairy into Smith Chain?
Unless you're willing to bank on a hookless Swamp Palace, yeah, I think that's roughly the size of what he has left.
That or it's Eastern or Back of Thieves? And I don't... Or like Spike Cave? In terms of density, Smith Chain is just his top play. So, like, I have to believe that's his next move, but I don't know. And Sky actually did Spike Cave. No, and there's the book. Actually, that could really help him into Smith Chain.
Yeah, that makes taking the purple chest down there just a little easier, and then you say, well, after that I can check Bombo's tablet into a swamp play. Maybe
And he's going to Vu.
He's going to 3, yeah.
Yep. And Sky is playing into a Pyramid Fairy, so unfortunately, like, unless the next play is Pod, like, I don't have a lot of... I feel like Kaesden's in the lead either way, but...
It's a much
Flippers
smaller
work...
lead if this is the Pyramid Fairy to Pod play, though.
Yes. But that's the play I think Sky needs to make to keep this race close. If this becomes Pyramid Fairy into back up the mountain for Ether and TR or something like that, like, I don't know what helps keep Sky in this one. Oh, and Shovel. Yeah, I mean, Kaesden just has everything pointing his way into this purple chest.
Yeah, Malmo in chat with a really good question. Why didn't Sky just go ahead and finish Turtle Rock at that point? He's going to have to do another mountain climb anyway, so it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess.
Yeah.
But
And Sky is going into pod, so we have a race. And the only problem is for Kaes, like, he's gonna walk this chest. On the plus side, he'll be right at Swamp.
It's going to drop him off right where he needs to be. The convenience of finding the flippers before the hookshot.
Oh, they can't be there. Ice Palace had Samaria. That's why we're not doing it. Duh.
But it wasn't hookshot locked in ice. I thought we had gone through that part.
The Samaria was.
I thought Samaria was in Iced Tea.
Ice T is flippers locked.
Yeah, there
Yep.
you go.
We're idiots. We're only human.
We can't all be Dark Links.
Nope. And there is go mode at 124.40 for Kaesden. Believe me, I will mention it to Kaesden sometime that he always has to casually disrespect my love of Red Rang somehow. He could have Red Rang and still pick up blue. Or he'll just completely diss Red Rang. Yeah, Red Rang was at dig spot. I'm hurt. And yeah, Sky's gonna be a couple minutes behind. Race is not over, but this is a deficit and it's gonna be a hard makeup.
The item loadout means that you don't really have a whole lot of worries unless you run into something ugly in the ice in the back of...
And about a minute later, there you go, go mode 125.43 for Darkened Sky. So about 2 minutes behind, or a minute behind on the go mode. But in terms of the entrance into Swamp Palace, yeah, we're going to be talking probably a bit closer to about 2 minutes. We'll get a better idea with the crystal clears here in Swamp. And we don't know the boss here.
But at this point, we can kill any boss, so
yeah.
It's a little less worrisome than it once was.
Both of our runners fully did TR. Besides the boss. We just couldn't, as we did not have hook, and when we dipped it, so that Argus and TR is still gonna have to be killed by both runners.
Kaesden choosing to take a little health there just in case this boss is less than kind.
And it's blind.
One of the bosses that we hadn't seen yet. Here it is at long last.
Kaesden pulls out Burn It just in case. I mean, at a certain point, you just go, I don't care anymore, and I just want to deal with this, like this time.
Just make the boss go away.
Okay, crystal at about 128 for Kaesden. That is crystal number 6. This might be closer to still just about a minute. It can't be, right?
No, it has to be a little longer than that, I would think.
Yeah, the difference in go modes was a minute, and Kaesden was right on top of Swamp at that moment.
You have to love the opportunity to just blink and you miss it run through Swamp Palace, though. You need nothing. Nothing's really going to help you at this point. Just get on through.
Land mode cannot be in Moldorm 2. It could be Ice Armos and Land mode 2, though. Okay, no, it's probably closer to about a minute and a half. It's looking. Yeah, it looks like item's going to be at about 129.30. Crystal, yeah, about 129.30. So it's a minute and a half difference. 90 seconds separates our runners. This race is far from over.
Things were getting a little dicey there at the end of that blind fight for Sky, down to 3 hearts, but did manage to pull on through.
Yeah, I decided not to use Burna there. I know magic refill after a boss kill is a little slower.
And simply using Burna, especially in something like the blind fight with all the other sprites on the screen, does cause some lag frames, so
Yeah.
that is a little time saved. Always kind of strange to me. You'd think of Turtle Rock as kind of a long slog of a dungeon, but when you've already been through it once, it doesn't take all that long in the grand scheme of things to run back through. All the doors are already open.
It's still so slow.
Yeah, most of the switches are at least in the position you want them to be.
I mean, mind you and I are both kind of like NMG guys, at least a little bit, and like we've both taken. Oh my God, Kaesden. We've both taken that death on Laser Bridge and had to run about a minute plus through the dungeon.
Yep. Been there, done that. Our runners are unlikely to do that when you have Butter Sword and 14 to 16 hearts and Blue Mail. Yeah, this fight, even if it were Trinex, not likely to cause a lot of problems.
So as we are, of course, entering into the final stretch, we're about to head to GT, and it's going to be, 1 to 22 for those possible locations of the big key. So start getting those in, because Kaesden's going to be in GT momentarily. But yeah, this is game 2 of one of our semifinals in the Challenge Cup between Kaesden and darkened5ky. Kaesden took game 1 on Tuesday night. Sky looking to even the series here. It's going to come into this GT routing question. What kind of bosses should we expect in there? We don't have any games yet played, I believe, on the other series. I could be wrong.
I think game 1 of that is going to be tomorrow night. Hold on, I've got that up in another tab. Let's see.
But yeah, that is, Nux and Alex Chess?
Yep, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Highland time, 5 p.m. Eastern.
So yeah, we don't know what the other side of the bracket's looking like, but, we've got right now Kaesden with the lead into GT. If he can just close out this race, he will clinch a spot in the finals. So, but here we go. Hope Room. We get the small key, so we are going to get the play into Compass Room first.
darkened5ky does not seem to be terribly happy about the way that Argus fight went.
I'll be honest, even with silvers, I still prefer Fire Rod. I'm weird like that.
No, if I have silvers, I'm using silvers. I am terrible at that Fire Rod or Ice Rod strat.
Small key on the torch for check number 7.
And it looks like Sky is going to follow the same route, so still going to be following along behind Kaesden, going to be a bit of an execution battle here.
Yep. And apparently the time edge from chat we're seeing is about minute 40. So without a route divergence, hate to say it, but I feel like this is gonna come down to, you know, it would take an execution gaff on Kaesden's side, and McBoss can present the situations. There are some bosses that can really get bad. We still have that chance for the Ice Trinex. Never mind.
Scratch Ice Trinex, we could have Trinex in the Landmo 2 arena, which is not the most fun place to fight Trinex in the world, but better than on ice.
We did get a 13 exactly, though. Did anybody actually type in 13? Joss Bleeden with the 13. Congratulations, you are a winner tonight.
And there could still be a nice Trinex, we're just not going to see it.
Yeah.
Kaesden up through the cannonball run now, up into what we lovingly refer to as the gauntlet. This is one of those things where if you're a sub-90 NMG runner like Kaesden, you've done this hundreds of times, probably thousands of times more in a practice hack. And when you're on Butter Sword, Silver Arrows, Blue Mail, 14 Hearts, you're probably feeling fairly comfortable.
Yeah, this is comfy.
Yeah, the flip side of that, of course, is it's a race, and NMG is just a race against yourself. In this case, you're also wondering, well, what if my opponent just did Purple Chest a little earlier? What if my opponent believed in Pod and had flippers and just did the things and didn't do the single lip of TR, and maybe I'm hanging on by the skin of my teeth here? You never know. As Kaesden uses those silver arrows and blasts the Armos Knights into oblivion.
Yeah, they really didn't stand a chance in this one. Even with the shooter in the room, it wasn't too bad.
Sky is on the chase here.
We could have a video at the top of GT. We did only see one. We're still missing a double.
Yeah, we're also missing a Land Molas, and we do have the Eastern
Land
boss
Molas and
outstanding.
Trinex have to be Eastern and Ice Armos.
Yeah.
So the two Armos must be our Land Mower and our Trinex. So this is going to be a double. It could be Moth. It could be Moldorm. I'm not sure if we have any other besides Vidi. And it's another Moth. So there's our last double.
Kaesden saying no to the hover, saying no to the chest. Sky having a small adventure there, but does get those Armos down relatively quickly. Kaesden is on Aghanim 2. Missing that cycle entirely.
Yeah, this is time that can be made up, and yeah, Kaesden not having a great Agatu here. Woof.
The patterns are not the greatest, but the handling of the patterns was also not necessarily ideal.
Yeah.
Darkened Sky through Torches 1, still on the hunt, almost through Torches 2, but Kaesden is dropping in on the pig.
But here we go, Ganon, gold and silvers. This should be a bit of a formality of a fight, but you say that and things happen. But nice start so far, and we're just going to go into nice safe dash strats here in the Ring of Fire. And I say that and we take a fire bat to the face. Great.
Kaesden's still fine as long as he doesn't hug the pig here. Hugging the pig is not something he can afford.
No. I believe what, a pig hug would be 6?
Pig hug would be 6.
And already Sky off to a great Agatu.
Yeah, there's that blue ball that really threw Kaesden's entire play there for a loop. That was the cycle that he got none. Oh, Darkened Sky almost the triple there.
Kaesden looking for the triple shot here. Nice position. Does he have it? Yes, he does. That's going to do it for Ganon. Just has to wait for the bridge. Sword up. And that will do it. Get your GGs in chat for Kaesden as he is going to be crossing this bridge. And it looks like take the series against Darkened Sky. And with that, Kaesden finishing with a 141.54. Moving in to the Challenge Cup Finals. His opponent to be determined between Alex Jass and Nux.
Those games coming tomorrow afternoon and then Saturday at noon, Hylian time, aka Eastern time. So the first 2 games of that series going to be decided relatively quickly here.
Yeah. So, and then we'll of course be waiting to see what happens with the finals and the potential for a bronze series as well. And I think Kaesden's going to wait for Sky to finish up as well, since Sky is so close to the end. And we'll be able to get both of our runners in for an interview at the same time.
This should
Nice
be a
double.
pretty easy double-double.
Yeah, double. Oops.
Except he did need to double the second double, and didn't.
But with that, darkened5ky has killed Ganon, is going to be crossing the bridge and finishing with a race time of 1:43:39, just under the 1:43:40 mark. So yeah, 1:43:49 for darkened5ky. GG's to both of our runners tonight on a great race and a great series. And we are now joined by Kaesden and darkened5ky. GG's, gentlemen.
GG.
Jeez.
That was an exciting watch. I'm assuming since you've had 10 minutes that you've probably discussed some of the things amongst yourselves. Different go modes there at the end, but go mode just a little over a minute apart for you. Kept it close basically all the way. Very entertaining watch. Thank you so much.
What was
Not
your
gonna
go
lie.
mode?
I had flipper go mode.
Flippers, okay.
I didn't do purple chest. I had cleared out the whole Turtle Rock, and I figured it was probably over when I went through Turtle Rock without the hook shot.
Yeah, I did the double dip in TR too. It was
okay.
not a fun feeling when I was about halfway through. It's like I have a compass. There's only one boss I can't kill, but I should probably check. And of course, it's Argus. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, after I'll say you two pretty much had similar routes Dark World wise. Surprisingly, unsurprisingly, Thieves and Skull were identical for the two of you. The only difference at that point was Kaesden had the early Hera clear. Having Master Sword out of front of Escape really helped Kaesden get first try on Vidi, even though your refight Sky was super quick with the butter and silvers. After that, you both ended up in Ice pretty much at the same time. Kaesden had skipped the North Dark World though, so was into Ice a little sooner. After that was where the divergence happened, with the split from Mountain and Mire.
Gotcha.
And then Kaesden decided to continue to stick to logic a little bit and ended up with a full clear pod.
Yeah, it was getting that lamp is what that put all of pod into logic. So once I had that, I just decided, flippers can't be in TR. They're probably not on the mountain, hopefully, but like if they are, it's not the end of the world. I guess it would have been pretty bad if you full clear pod for nothing, but it just felt like a good play staying off the mountain at that point. Also looking for hook shot. Like if I find either one of those before going up, it would have been good. And sure enough, the flippers were there.
Another go mode flippers in Green Pendant Dungeon for me. Did I even play a different seed? Now, this seed was a lot of I had no idea where I was going after a certain point. There was just every option felt super gross. In a way,
Yeah,
I'm kind of glad that I didn't go through to finals because I don't play non-glitched modes very often outside of tournaments. So now I can go back to HMG and prepare for that.
Well, good luck in that. That's beyond my abilities. I've done a little bit of OWG, but I never got into the HMG. It's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I will point out, of course, that pending the other runners series, there is still a chance to play in the bronze match for you, Sky. They have held third place game or third place series in that, so, but that's usually been left up to runner choice. So,
All right.
I wouldn't say count that completely out of the possibility, but we do not have any knowledge there, as Alex and Nux have not played a game yet.
We'll just have to keep an eye out.
Yeah. Of course, the big thing for tonight, how about that 10% McBoss roll?
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
That checks out. I'd stepped away to go bio, come back. It's like, really? It's the mode with one card? It's like there's 3 modes with 3, and we got that one. But you know what? At least it wasn't Ambrosia. So I'll take it.
Yeah, Kaesden, how many times have we been practicing in Verge together just for you not to roll it ever?
Right? I think I rolled it a couple times in groups and haven't seen it since.
It's just saving up for the finals. That's all.
Yeah, probably.
Double Ambrosia finals.
Fortunately, that can't happen.
No, just games 1 and 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Duh.
1 and 3, yeah, just not back to back.
Yep. But yeah, so that, Sky, any final thoughts as this is your pseudo exit, I guess, from Challenge Cup?
Yeah, I mean, considering, like I said, that I don't play glitchless logic outside of tournaments very often, I feel like I did pretty well. Pretty glad with how far I've come. Been playing random for 5 years, and I've never made it this far in anything. So, still something to be proud of. And if it couldn't be me, hopefully it's another Dark Link sprite player. So good luck, Kaesden.
I'll see what I can do. I'll do best I can. It's about all I can promise.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and Kazen, this does mean, of course, you are now into Challenge Cup finals. Any preliminary thoughts without even knowing who you're playing?
Not a lot, no. Just gonna wait, watch the games, and see who I'm playing. I know it's gonna be a tough matchup either way, so.
Cool. Maya and DM, did you have any other questions?
No, I think we've about covered it, honestly. Thank you both again for putting on a great show. Again, lots of similar decision points, and then you split back up, you came back together, and it was a minute and change all the way down to the wire. I hope everybody in chat was entertained, because I sure as hell was.
Thanks for putting on the restream. Glad we could make it an interesting show.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Jesse, fun as always. I guess we're probably ready to turn this back over to baseball. Maybe
Yeah, I think so.
some ZSR announcements before we close up shop here.
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. First, just gonna thank everyone involved one more time. Thank you, Sky and Kaesden, for the excellent race. And thank you, of course, to our commentators, Myendium and Jesse, and of course our wonderful tracker, Leoria. Thank you, all of you. And let's see, in terms of ZSR, first of all, game 1 of the other semifinal match, that's at 5 p.m. tomorrow, so make sure you check that out. We're also starting the Cross Keys tournament, so twist rounds are happening. They might be happening tomorrow evening on ZSR as well. So yes, many tournaments happening. But then game 2 of the other semifinals match is on Saturday at 12, again Eastern time. So please join us for that. Should be a good one. Yeah. I'm gonna look for a raid target. I think we're gonna raid Zeruvian. Zeruvian was, of course, in the tournament as well, and has commentated some matches for us. So they're playing some Link to the Past randomizer, and I hope you enjoy that. And I'll see you tomorrow for game 1 of the other semifinal round. Thanks, everyone. See you later.